So today's webinar is going to be very, very exciting. We're going to be diving a little bit more in depth into AI, and we're going to be talking a little bit about freelancing as well. And also, we're going to be featuring mainly our smart assistant feature, all the different sub features that it has, and all the capabilities that it can generate to you and your company and your team, even to be more productive with your email inbox. So we're gonna go we're gonna go ahead and start right now. Please keep sharing where are you tuning in from. We have people from France, we have people from Belgium as well, we have people from Germany, from Spain. So we have different places around the world. And some little details that I wanna share before is that first of all, you will have the possibility to get this recording at the end of the webinar. We're going to be sending it next week. So we'll have the full recording of the webinar so you can access it at any time, and it will be sent via email to you. Also, if you have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to use the chat box, and then Tiffany will make sure to gather all the questions, and then at the end of the webinar we'll have a specific Q&A session for you all. And also, if you have any other questions throughout and even after the webinar, you can always send an email to our support team, and I will be sharing that information with you. So now I'm going to pass it over to Tobias so we can start the webinar and we can continue with this. Perfect.
Thanks a lot, Rogelio, for the intro. As you already mentioned, so the webinar is mainly about our brand new feature, Smart Assistant. It's an artificial intelligence power tool which helps you to manage your emails and especially your inbox way smarter. Cool. While people are still tuning in, let's start. Let's start with a short intro into artificial intelligence. So what is actually AI? And there's a really short definition. Artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence by computer systems. And our new smart assistant feature is using one of the most powerful AIs on the market. You might already heard about the company OpenAI. And OpenAI is actually the company behind the very popular service ChatGPT. I think many of us already used it, this very nice chat tool, which helps you with all kind of different questions, problems, whatever you want, whatever you need, you ask ChatGPT. But ChatGPT is developed very broad, and we develop our smart assistant really focused on email communication. So, but still, we're using the smart technology, the smart artificial intelligence of OpenAI because it's very well trained. So we are using this called GPT-3, and the GPT-3 module has been trained on a very large data set of text, which includes everything from news articles, books, scientific papers, Wikipedia, and many other sources of text from the web. So you can say that the AI knows nearly everything, like even industry-specific topics or technical terms. And it's important to note that the AI only knows information which was available until June 2021. So, for example, you can't ask the AI how the weather was yesterday in Berlin because it simply doesn't know that. Yeah, and this very powerful AI by OpenAI allows our smart assistant to understand the context of emails and to generate human-like email responses for you. And this powerful AI enables us even to develop all kind of different inbox features, which we will show you later throughout the demo. But before we come to the demo, let's quickly talk about the benefits and limitations of artificial intelligence. Quickly about the benefits, because there's so many different benefits of AI, it would take me too long to mention all of them. And there will be even more benefits in the near future because the development at the moment of artificial intelligence is so fast. But in general, you can say that AI is increasing your efficiency by saving you a lot of time, improving accuracy, and saving you costs by automating processes. But more important on this slide for me is to mention the limitations of AI. So the first limitation is that AI can't understand all the nuances of human language and communication. So AI often fail actually to understand sarcasm or irony, for example. So when you're in a conversation with someone and you're using AI to generate text, please keep that in mind. Another limitation of AI is that AI is not capable of using creativity and emotions in decision making. So this means AI technologies, they can't come up with an original solution to a problem. But most importantly, and you might already experience it when when you're using ChatGPT, AI technologies can sometimes produce correct sounding answers, which are completely wrong. So it's very important for us that you're aware of these kind of limitations. So whenever you're using our smart assistant, you always need to double check the emails before you send them out. So in the end, our smart assistant is acting, as the name says, like an assistant in your inbox. It will not replace you or fully automate your email communication, and that's actually also not our goal. Yeah. So next slide. Now let's come to the smart assistant. I mentioned it a lot, the smart assistant, but here's the feature set. The current version of the smart assistant comes with 6 sub features, which you can see all listed here. And they are all included in your email inbox after you installed Mailbutler. So there's a feature to compose a full email based on a short input from your side, or to respond to an email in just a few clicks. There's a feature to summarize long emails for you, or to improve your writing when you decide to write the email by yourself. And there is also a feature to find contact information or potential tasks inside your email. Yeah, but let's see this feature in action. James, you can take over now. He's going to give you a live demo of all the Smart Assistant features. He's going to use his Apple Mail inbox, as you can see probably now. That's Apple Mail. But the Smart Assistant looks exactly the same in Outlook and Gmail because it's located in the Mailbutler sidebar, and this sidebar is in all front ends the same. But go ahead, James, and tell us more about the Smart Assistant. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so as Tobias said, I'm in Apple Mail at the moment, but it's basically the same in Gmail and Outlook. The first thing that you'll need to do after you've installed Mailbutler is to open up the Mailbutler sidebar, which in Apple Mail is just up here by clicking this button. And you'll see then the sidebar opens, and initially you'll have to click this button on the left, which is the Smart Assistant button. The very first time you do it, it'll ask you for permission to access the content of some of your emails, but it only accesses the content of emails which you allow it to. So the emails that you actually want to use the feature on, it will have access to those. And there are some features which you can still use if you don't want to do that without giving the Smart Assistant any access at all. And we're going to start with one of those. So the very first feature is if you open up a new Compose window, you'll see that the Mailbutler sidebar is also here, the exact same thing. You click the button. And to the right is a Compose button. So I'm going to write an email to Tobias. And if I go into Compose, then I can do, for example, schedule a meeting with Tobias for Thursday. Then you click on the Compose button, and after a few moments, the Smart Assistant writes the email for you. And from here, you can insert it directly into your email and make any edits you need. But it can also do more complicated emails. So if I write something like, tell Bill Gates how we can improve the SEO strategy of Microsoft, it might take a little bit longer because it's going to hopefully write me a slightly longer email. Then you can insert this and you can see that it's asked Bill Gates exactly what I wanted it to. So that's the Smart Compose feature. The next one, which you can do within your Compose window as well, is Smart Improve, which Tobias mentioned. So you can see, for example, here, I've got this email that has a few spelling and grammar mistakes. And all you have to do is highlight the text that you want to improve. And over here, click on Improve. You can also go to the drop down and select precisely what you want to improve, just spelling and grammar. But I'm just going to click on Improve for now. And you can see that it improves it in the sidebar for me. and then you can simply replace, and it's all been replaced and is now correct. So those are the two which are features which you use in your Compose window. But there's also 4 more features here when you're just in your inbox window. So the next one is Smart Respond. So I have an email here from Tobias which suggests a meeting with me on Thursday at 11. And if I click on the reply button, then the Smart Assistant gives me a response to that email. And in this case, when you click reply, it gives you the positive response. So me saying, yes, Tobias, I will do that meeting with you. Or you can click on reply negatively and it will change, and the Smart Assistant will write an email which will say, I can't make this meeting. So that's Smart Response. You don't have to basically spend any time writing emails anymore. The Smart Assistant just does it for you. There's 3 more. So one of them, for example, is the contact information. So if you click on this, then it will scan the email you have selected for contact information. And here you can see that it's pulled Tobias's email and his name. And at the moment, we're also working on getting it to pull the address of the person who sent you the email, which hopefully will be implemented in the future within the next few weeks. So from here, once you have the information, you can select the bits that you want. And then when you click save, that saves as a Mailbutler contact. The next one you can do is to-dos. So basically the same thing. You click it and it gives you a set of to-dos, which it's pulled from the email that you have selected. And then again, you can select the ones that you want to keep, click create tasks, and from there, they're turned into Mailbutler tasks, which you'll then be able to see in the Mailbutler sidebar in your tasks list. And the very last feature is, you can see here I have a slightly longer email, and maybe I don't have time to read through the whole thing, so I can click on the Summarize button, and this Smart Summarize should give me a slightly smaller bite-sized summary of this message. And from here, you can directly create a Mailbutler note. And as you can see, you can then go in and edit it as you see fit. It's still quite long, but not quite as long as the email. So those are the 6 features. One thing that Tobias has already touched on, but which is important to keep in mind, is especially for the Smart Compose and Smart Respond features, always make sure to proofread what the Smart Assistant has written for you, because it can make mistakes. So make sure that you're happy with the email you send before you send it. And yes, and one last thing is for the privacy options, if you go down to the cog here and then go to Account and Preferences, navigate to the Privacy tab, and if you decide at any time that you don't want the Smart Assistant to have access to your emails anymore, you can turn this off. And then as you can see, you'll still be able to use the Compose and Improve functionality, because that doesn't require any access at all. And I think that's it for the demo.
Thanks a lot, James. And as James pointed out a couple of times, privacy is very important for us. So we are not scanning all your emails or going through all your emails. It's only when you're actively using that specific feature for one single email. And then we even have mechanism in place which are hiding actually personal information. So nothing leaves your inbox which is private information, like names, email addresses, numbers, for example, credit card numbers, because we always think that your emails are including very sensitive data and they should not be transferred outside of your inbox. A very new feature, which actually was released, I think 2 weeks ago, is the Smart Compose feature for your mobile phone. James already showed it. It was a feature where you provided some content. I think in your example, you used SEO Bill Gates example. But most of us, they are also writing a lot of emails on the phone. And even there, it's very time consuming to write very professional, long emails. And now you have the option to simply open the Mailbutler mobile app. You can simply download it from the App Store. And when you open it, you see that little bubble at the bottom right, which is the Smart Assistant. We call the Smart Assistant actually Maya. And then this window opens where you provide your input, what the email is about. And after hitting compose, it will generate the full email for you. And the very, very nice thing is when you click like open draft, it directly opens your email program or your email app on your phone, opening a new message and pre-filling it with the composed email. So there's no copy pasting or switching or opening another app. Everything happens in the background for you. Very handy. And I already love that new feature on the mobile phone. Cool. Just go ahead, download the Mailbutler app when you're already using Mailbutler on your desktop, and it's gives you even more functionalities. Yet that's only one feature in the mobile app, but this webinar is mainly about the smart assistant. Good. Rogelio already introduced Nick at the beginning shortly. Yeah, Rogelio, please take over and
Yes.
welcome Nick
So
to our
thank you so
webinar.
much. Thank you so much, Tobias. So now we have a very special guest, Nick. We have had like a long time relationship already since Mail Butler almost started as well. And now we have him here because we're going to be talking a little bit more about AI and also about how it can work with the freelance world. So, Nick, if you can please introduce yourself just shortly, that would be amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, great to be here. And thank you so much for getting me onto the live call. Of course, I've been a big fan of Mail Butler and the amazing team there. So it's really good to be here. In terms of an introduction, yeah, I am a freelance post-production artist. I'm based out here in London. I was born in London, based out here in Barcelona. And what I kind of do day to day is I am a video editor, sometimes a visual effects artist, an animator, grader. But as you've kindly got on screen, I'm also a coach and a course creator for freelancers, essentially to help them to get work that they love to do.
Exactly. So, something that we want to talk a little bit more about is why do you think freelancers are benefiting actually from the latest AI trends and developments?
Oh, in so many ways. So I kind of like to see this into two sections of people that already have existing skills that, I guess a lot of our audience here today as well, maybe copywriters. I know I saw in the chat as well, we've got a few kind of animators and video editors. If you already have an existing skill set, there's a lot of disruptive tools there that are helping people to do their day-to-day role a lot faster, a lot more efficient, and just have essentially kind of cutting out a lot of the menial tasks, right? So
Yeah.
AI can massively assist you in that sense. But what I also love, kind of as you demoed here with the Mailbutler Smart Assistant, is even if you're not a writer, you don't have any copywriting experience, AI is really helping us as freelancers who don't focus on the marketing side so much, for example, essentially fill that gap and kind of pair, the two together of maybe you're a video editor, but you need to send emails to a client to book in work and you're not sure how to word that. So AI is like really filling that gap between people that have skills and want to enhance them, but the other side completely of maybe not having any experience, but then also just allowing you to venture into that new world.
Yeah, and I believe it saves you a lot of time and it boosts your productivity because you don't have to worry on the things that normally you used to worry before. Now you don't have to worry about those things. And that's something that, like you said, like Mail Butler does very good of saving you time and boosting your productivity like so much, so many more times and everything. Another question that I wanted to ask you and I wanted to talk to you about is what are some tools that you would recommend your clients and why?
Yeah, there's so many because again, you could kind of put these into buckets of productivity tools, creative tools, time management tools. On the creativity I've heard of, which is like a text prompt image generator. So you can type in, kind of Rogelio wearing whatever in a sunny country on the beach, having a mojito, and it will generate an image of that in any style you like. So you can use a lot of these image generators for your marketing material, or even just to create content for social media. If you're looking to create content or posts for your social profiles. In terms of other creative tools, I use a lot of kind of Adobe products. So Adobe have something called Firefly, where you can essentially generate text graphics or images from scratch. And even built in with the tools like Premiere, you could even edit your videos based on text. which is incredible. If you have a 4-hour interview, without getting too geeky, you can just cut that down by looking at the text bits and cutting out all the ums and ahs and edit based on the script. But in terms of productivity, there's quite a few I use. I use Notion, ClickUp, of course, Mailbutler. I'm happy to kind of go into some of those tools and use cases I use as well there. But that's kind of a little nutshell. I could probably go on for ages talking about tools.
Yeah, exactly, and make sure to check Nick on social media because he's always giving some tips as well. As Mailbutler and Nick, we both are really diving very in deep with AI tools and AI topics and everything. So feel free to check both of our accounts out on social media because we're always keeping everyone on the loop on the latest AI trends as well. And also another thing, why do you think a freelancer should use the smart assistant, for example, for Mailbutler, and when would be the best cases that they could use it?
Yeah, good question. Best use cases. So for me, I use it across many different examples, different kind of scenarios where, as a freelancer, a lot of the times is we get an email inquiry for availability. And I love what James just demoed there, where you kind of can respond positively or negatively really fast. Like I'm a job. And what you've probably seen from my post on LinkedIn, I'm really big about lining up your next gigs while you're on a job. And sometimes you're so busy on that, you see an email glance in, and you just want to have a quick response to get that job nailed in. So for me, I love the reply features, composing when you have to just write sometimes a difficult email and say you're unavailable, or you have to decline a job and you have to do it in a polite way. And Mailbutler and Maya, as Therese kindly named it, that's a really nice way to professionally reword it. And then I just go in and add a little bit of my personality in there.
Exactly, and it's cool that you can start from scratch your idea because sometimes we don't know what to write exactly, and we just like give Maya the exact prompts, and then, as you said, personalize it with your style, with your own flavor and everything. But thank you so much, Nick, for joining us today. I think it's very good to have some insights from someone that has had so much experience in the freelance world and also being a mentor for freelancers and everything. And please make sure to check Nick on the social media, and if you want to write your socials on the chat box, that would be amazing, so people can find you there. But thank you so much for joining today, Nick. We truly appreciate it.
That, thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate that.
And also something that we want to, of course, remind you of, please follow us on social media. We have been updating a lot regarding the latest social AI trends and the latest developments as well as different features that we will be having in the future with Mailbutler. So feel free to follow us there. And something very nice that I'm happy to announce is that we're having a giveaway of a lifetime membership for Mailbutler. So make sure to go to our social media channels, check it out. And it's very, very easy to participate. It's just a few steps, so you can check it out right there. So thank you so much, and I'll pass it over to Tobias then.
Thanks a lot, Rogelio. So as we mentioned a couple of times, we are at the end of the official webinar, but we are having some questions and answers. So please, it's the time now to use the chat and ask your questions. Do you already see my screen with the questions? Yeah.
Yes.
So there are only 2 questions yet. Let's have a look. So the first one is there a way to influence the tone of the message, professional versus casual, for example? For the quick reply or smart reply feature, you saw it in the demo, you can say reply positively or negatively. For the compose feature, we are currently working on that extension at the moment, actually. So in the future, we will definitely have it. Sometimes, or not sometimes, actually, Maya or the AI is adjusting the tone to your input. So when you write it very strict, for example, it also the answer is very strict and unpolite, for example, or when it's casual, informal, so the answer will adjust accordingly. Yeah. Are there recordings of each of the series of session available to review as a follow-up? Yes, we have actually a pretty new website on our page. I can quickly show you. On Mailbutler, under resources, we have the page webinars, where you can find all the upcoming webinars, but also down here, as it's very new, there will be all the recordings. For example, we have this week in total 4 webinars. So you can always rewatch them here, also the ones you didn't sign up for. But also very helpful are our tutorials. We have for every single video.
This is Paul with Mail.
Thank you, Paul. For every single feature, we have a 3 to 5 minutes video which explains the feature in action. Yeah, very helpful to get started with a new feature. Yeah. That's about the recordings. And actually, if you still have time, in 30 minutes, we have actually another webinar today about our signatures feature, email signatures here. So go ahead and sign up for it now. You should receive the meeting link right after registration, and then you can tune in. Actually, the signature feature is a very, very nice feature, and many users actually don't know about it when they're using Mailbutler. Are there more questions? I don't have the chat open. Let me open the chat. So I will stay for 5 more minutes. When you have a question, just type it here now, and then I'm going to answer it. For the rest, thanks a lot for joining. Thank you. Special thanks to Nick. Very interesting insights from a different perspective. I like to have guests on our webinars, because otherwise it will be just Mailbutler people talking to the audience. And especially you as a coach, being in contact with freelancers all the time, seeing and how they're working, what kind of problem they are facing. It's very interesting for us as well. Yeah, thanks a lot. Maybe the rest of you, see you in a bit, in 30 minutes in our signature webinar. If not, have a nice day and talk to you soon. And always, of course, when there are problems, reach out to our customer support. It's simply support@mailbutler.io, and someone from our support team will get back to you within 24 hours, actually.
Yes, all the links, of everything that we mentioned, the support center, the tutorials, and the social media links, and even the webinar that is just in a few minutes, it's on the chat as well. So make sure to just take a quick look and click on them and save them. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Rogelio. So,
perfect.
As I said, I will stay a little bit. The rest, they can leave if you don't have a question. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye, Nick. Seems like there are no questions left. Okay, last chance to write a message. I don't see anyone typing, so I think we can end the meeting now. Thank you, Rogelio and James, and Tiffany. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.